welcome to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Today, we're going to be talking about making things out of goat milk. I've got PJ Jonas with me on the program. She is the owner of Goat Milk Stuff based in Indiana. So we welcome her to the program and learn more about her throughout the discussion at that website, goatmilkstuff.com. So PJ, welcome to the program today.
Thanks so much for having me, Jamie.
So I'm familiar with goat milk from a cow, not so much milk from a goat, but then again, I grew up in West Virginia, although I wasn't in around farms too much, and then I've been in Tampa since I'm 18, so really don't have a lot of the country, inside of me, but, just tell me a little bit about your background and how you found out that all these different products could be made from goat milk.
Yeah, so really, very few people are familiar with goat milk. We're really a cow country out here in America, so most people are familiar with that. But goat milk is actually a little bit healthier for you than cow milk because it's a lot easier to digest. You get a lot more of the nutrients from it than you can do from cow milk. So a lot of people who are lactose intolerant are able to drink goat milk where they can't drink cow milk. So there's a lot of benefits to it. I originally just got goats for the children because I wanted them to have the healthy raw milk. And what happened was I was bathing the children one day and just letting them splash around when I looked at the ingredient list on the baby wash I'd always used. And I was really upset to find it was all full of chemicals, petroleum-based chemicals. And so I decided I was going to make my own soap. Mm-hmm. And when I did that, put it in the shower, my husband's finger stopped cracking and splitting. So that was kind of the beginning of Goat Milk Stuff and how we started, not just using the milk for ourselves, but turning it into products and sharing it with people.
Let's go back to just the consumption of it. First off, can you buy goat milk in a store?
You can. They have it available in there. It's, to be perfectly honest, a little bit kind of nasty. It's not nearly the same.
But it's better for you, though, you said.
It is. But I think that's part of why goat milk gets kind of a little bad reputation because the stuff in the store isn't really very good. I mean, it's night and day difference when you get it off a farm from healthy goats that, it's not being processed.
And honestly, I've never seen or noticed goat milk for sale. Is it a regional thing? Am I going to find it for sale in Tampa, or do I need to go to maybe a more a specific store than maybe the broad box chains?
Yeah, our Walmart carries it, so I'm assuming you do. It's a very small selection, so you probably just skip right over it because you're looking for your regular milk, so you should be able to find it.
Is it better in any type of making of any type of desserts or food? Goat milk just does better than you mentioned that people that suffer from lactose difficulties benefit from drinking goat milk, but is goat milk good in preparation of other dietary products?
Yeah, it really is. We got our grade A dairy license in 2015. In fact, we're the only goat grade A dairy in the state of Indiana. And so we make things like gelato and fudge and caramel. We have the best caramel. So the goat milk really does make a big difference. The fact that we use really fresh goat milk and the fact that it's not super highly processed makes a big difference. But yeah, most people really enjoy most foods made out of goat milk.
So you've discovered that it had a product line to it. You made some soap out of goat milk, and on your website, Goat Milk Stuff, there's a lot of stuff there now for sale and available. How did you develop that product, and then what did that lead into?
Well, we started with the soap because that was really what we were able to market initially. I actually have 8 children. They were very young at the time. They were like 1 to 11. And so the soap was a great product for us because it really helped customers. It really made a difference on their skin, but it was something that we could make ahead and store and ship when we got the orders. We didn't have to worry about it going bad. So that's our main product, is our flagship product. And we have goat milk soap in 30, 40 different scents. We have all sorts of specialty soaps. We have a lot of unscented soap because there's so many people out there with skin conditions like eczema, psoriasis, acne, things like that. And the unscented products really make a big difference for them.
So what is it that goat milk is different from in preparation of the soap versus the stuff that you're buying, the traditional soaps?
Well, most traditional soaps are just made with water because you need a liquid component, so they just use water. The goat milk adds things like all the fat and the cream, so it can be really moisturizing on your skin. Goat milk's very high in selenium, which is something that if you watch commercials, they'll add to a lot of high-end beauty products because it's good for your skin, things like vitamin A and the alpha hydroxy acids. All those occur naturally. And it's not that you're just, adding those individually in whatever amounts you desire. I mean, that's how it's naturally occurring in the goat milk. So it's very well balanced.
Now, before you began developing goat milk products, I take it you ran a farm. Were you just doing basic farm work at the time? What was your background, though?
Yeah, no, I really had no idea how to run a farm.
Oh.
I was an engineer. I actually grew up on an island, became an engineer, worked in corporate America for about 3 years, and then when my daughter was born, I became a stay-at-home homeschooling mom. I homeschool my 8 children as well as running the business. So, no, it was really figuring it out. Mostly for us, and then okay, now that we know how to make it for us and we love it and it works for us, okay, how do we scale this up to be able to share it on a much bigger basis?
So you developed the product here. How did you get it onto the shelves? Because a lot of people, will invent something and they'll go to different people. And I've had people on this program tell me, horror stories of being taken advantage of whenever they have a product that they're trying to take to market. So how did you develop your product? Take me through some of the steps to get that out to the public.
Well, as I mentioned, because my children were so young, I decided very early on that I wanted to be an internet-based business. That was my goal. So I had, this was back in 2008, everything was crashing. I had no idea what I was doing. I taught myself how to code, put up a website. And of course, then once you have the website, you have to figure out how to get people to the website.
Right.
So what we ended up doing was going around to all these craft shows and festivals. This was, there were some farmers markets back then, but it was not nearly as popular as they are today. And so everybody who came to the craft fair, the festival, whatever it was, would get a soap sample and a business card. We would get as many email addresses as we could. And that was really how we started to drive traffic to the website. Once we got the samples in people's hands and they started trying it, that was where, I started getting all the feedback about just what a difference it made on people's skin. Just like my husband has stopped their fingertips from cracking and eczema and all of that. So that was kind of the genesis of it, really direct to the consumer.
Okay. And today, is it in stores or is it strictly still an online business?
So we have shifted. We are in stores. We have not made that a major focus yet, mostly because it's all we can do to keep up with our retail business. But any store that comes to us, we have quite a few of them, smaller specialty stores around the country. And then when we became the Grade A Dairy in 2015, we really developed our farm. So now we do a lot of agritourism, a lot of tours, a lot of baby goat experiences. People, we serve gelato here. So a lot of people come, not just as they drive through, but they come visit us from around the country because they've been, they've known us for so long. So that's really taking off as well.
So you were able to draw people to your website by giving samples out at trade shows, and so that was your catalyst for getting the business off the ground then.
Well, trade shows are really expensive. We've actually never done a trade show, mostly because our full-size bar soap is $6.50. You have to sell a lot of soap to justify, especially if you're doing it at wholesale prices, to going to a trade show. Mm-hmm. But when you're going to these local craft fairs and festivals, and we traveled around the country, we did them, in many different states. You can really reach the consumer directly. You can open up new markets at a much lower cost.
Okay, and so after the goat milk, the consumption, you learned about that. We've got goat milk soap. What else do you have that's doing well or that's on production in the line of the goat milk products?
Yeah, so the other thing in the bath and body category that we have trouble keeping in stock is our laundry soap. What most people don't realize is the laundry soap you buy at the grocery store has chemicals in it to bind to your clothing, and what those chemicals do is they trick your eye into making your clothes look brighter and cleaner than they actually are. And those chemicals cause a lot of irritation for a lot of people. So once they make the switch to our laundry soap, it's the same thing. They didn't realize how much their clothes were bothering their skin until they've made that switch. So that's a really popular product. We do liquid soap. That's really popular. And then as far as, here on the farm, our cheese is hugely popular. We sell out of that as fast as we can make it. But we ship online a lot of our caramels. Our caramels are really good, and people get addicted to them quickly.
So I don't know that I've had any products made from goat milk. Can you describe the difference in taste or texture, like the caramel, for instance, between traditional caramel?
It's creamier. It's got a more richer taste. I tell people, if you've ever had the difference between you go get regular eggs from the grocery store and then you get eggs that from a farm, it just tastes more like an egg. It tastes richer. And the same thing with the caramel. It's got a more flavorful, it's more full-bodied, and you wouldn't think there was such a big difference until you taste them side by side.
Now today, this is $1 million business. Talk to me about the operation today. Are there goats and are they all on your property? property, or are they outsourced now? How does all this come together now?
Yeah, right now they're all still on our property. We're still growing. Every year we get bigger and bigger. We add more and more goats, and we've machine milking. We have a huge bulk tank that holds the milk, and it's a matter of allocating which products the milk is going to go into. The children are growing. They're all still working in the business, all 8 of them, and we have employees as well to help us keep up with the demand.
Is it all produced on your farm, or what parts of the business are you outsourcing?
Nothing. We do it all here. We do it all here.
So every day all the staff comes to your house, they go to work, and then of course you got your 8 kids there. They all still living with you? Any of them moved out yet?
No, they're all still. The oldest is 20, so they're getting ready, but nobody's left yet.
Yeah, you got to you put them to work though. Nothing wrong with that though. I mean, it's a family business, and that's something to be very proud of and everything. So, what's it like, having 8 children all in the family business? Is it a love-hate relationship each day at work, or does you all get along really well?
No, we all get along really well. I mean, we're a family, so there'll be occasional squabbles and bickering, but for the most part, everybody has their role, their area, so they're all able to really concentrate on what they do well, and so that lessens a lot of the tension because there's not a whole lot of overlap.
Currently talking to PJ Jonas. He is the owner of Goat Milk Stuff. Learn more at that website, goatmilkstuff.com, where you can pick up some soap or laundry soap, and helps your skin. So if you're suffering from eczema or other skin conditions, try out the goat milk product and see the benefits that it has for your skin. I'm going to take a break here. Coming back from the break, we'll talk about some of the systems and processes she developed inside of her business to help it grow from just a small little startup with a couple of goats to now $1 million business. So you're listening to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
Welcome back to That Business Show 2.0 with your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. My guest today, PJ Jonas, owner of Goat Milk Stuff. Learn more at that website, goatmilkstuff.com. So, PJ, you're an engineer, so you have that natural knowledge of systems and processes and wanting to kind of systemize everything. But as an entrepreneur, though, that's a whole nother element of thinking and development that you've got to bring into play here. So talk to me about those early days when you saw this business opportunity with your engineering mindset. What systems and processes did you begin to put into place?
You know, when you're first starting, you're just working with what you have, right? You know, what can I grab? How can I do this as cheaply as possible with as little outflow of my cash as possible? But once you realize that you've got something here and it's going to be a success, then the challenge becomes, okay, how do I make this more efficient? How do I squeeze every drop out of this? How do I, save as much time, as many steps as possible so that I can do as much work as possible? Because when you're starting, it's just you. Right. I mean, I had the children, but it was just us. So the more I could do efficiently, the faster. I can remember doing, when we started shipping out internet orders, silly things like we taped each label on and then just, investing in the zebra printer with the label so you didn't have to tape, you could just pull it off and stick
right.
it on, silly things like that. And you start to go, okay, there's got to be a better way to do this. I've got to be able to save time. I've got to be able to save money. And it's just, analyzing not just the little things which you have to do, but the big things as well, where you have to take a step back and go, okay, there's, this was how I did it when I was, shipping out 5 a week. How do I ship it now when I'm shipping out 500 a week? That kind of thing.
Where did your knowledge of even making soap come to you to start with? I don't know how to make soap. What made you think of, hey, I could make some soap out of the goat milk? Where does that thought come from?
My husband once told me it's the biggest compliment he ever paid me was that I've never met a problem that I couldn't solve.
Right.
And I said I'm not using this baby wash anymore. That's it. I got to figure this out. And so there's so much information on the internet. The trouble is a lot of it is really good and a lot of it is really bad, and you have to figure out
right.
when you don't know what you're doing which is which. So it was a lot of trial and error, a lot of figuring things out, and then really just tweaking it to something that we wanted. Most of the recipes I initially found, they were all water. It's like, well, I'm just going to throw the goat milk in and we'll see what happens. So and then you have to modify from there. And
so you use that same process you figured, I got goats, I could probably make some soap out of the goat milk. I mean, that was your thinking, and you went on the internet and see how to put ingredients together. How did you even know how to put the ingredients together?
There's a lot of like old-fashioned skills books, homesteading type books,
right.
or how they used to do it. And so you just kind of started there. I mean, now it's easy. Now you can just go on YouTube and everybody will tell you everything. But back then it was a lot of problem solving and looking around for things.
So then you began to go to the different craft fairs, giving people samples of the product with a business card, directing them to your website. How soon before you started seeing consistent money roll in from the time that you started going to the different craft fairs?
Probably within a couple months. It really took off quickly. I mean, we started our first craft show was in the fall of 2008, and by the fall of 2009, my husband was on full time. He'd left his job and come on full time.
Wow.
It was fast. And it wasn't fully supporting us then. I mean, we really kind of took a leap of faith that it was going to, but we had more work than the children and I could do. And so it was like, okay, we're going to either believe in this dream and believe in our hard work or we're not. And we did. And it's just, so it was pretty quick, faster than I would think you could do it today.
Now, what about competition or stores looking to buy your product? Have you been approached for anything like that? Do you plan to keep it family owned? What's your outlook for this business?
So, as far as competition, when we first started, we were probably one of the biggest ones initially. There were a lot of people doing it on a small scale, but we really went after it big. Now it's probably because we made it look so easy. There's a lot of, everybody who has goats is kind of doing it right now. But we're still being one of the early, one of the first people in doing it big. We've still got that competitive advantage. We've never been approached for selling the business. We are open to that if someone came in at the right price. But right now, all the children want to work the business. That was why we became the Grade A Dairy, so we would have the food products so that there was an area for all the children to really work in. And it's really going to be up to them whether, if anybody ever does come in with an offer, whether that's something they want to take advantage of or not. My youngest is 9 years old right now, and I told the children when she turned 18, my husband and I were out of the business, that it was completely going to be handed over to them, and they were going to have to run it from scratch, and we just wanted our our monthly payments.
So am I getting this right? You got 8 children between the ages of 9 and 20. So that's like 10 years of consistent pregnancy while starting a business and growing it to $1 million business?
Yeah, well, I had finished by the time I really started the business. The last one was born, so
I'm just trying to do the math in my head. 9 months, 10.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's a lot of work and a lot of stuff to keep up with. I mean, most people have problems just raising one kid. You've got 8. You got a business. You got a bunch of goats out there on the side that you got to take care of as well. And here you are with a $1 million business. So a tremendous amount of success. How many goats do you have out there in the field today? Well, what's going on outside?
Well, we're milking 80 goats, but we've had 149 baby goats born this year. So we just finished a couple weeks ago. So we sell most of the babies. I think we've kept about 25, 30 of the babies to grow the herd for next year. So there's a lot of goats depending on what time of the year it is.
Very, very funny. Now, I noticed also you homeschooled all of your children. So you've been very fortunate to have a very tight-knit family in an environment today that's anything but tight-knit. Talk to me about the advantages of homeschooling your children on top of having them working in your business.
Yeah, I wanted their education to be really practical. So, starting goat milk stuff really helped with that because they've been involved from the beginning with all the financials, all the legal, everything. So they've learned a lot of that. But one of the biggest strengths to homeschooling is you can treat your children as individuals, right? You're helping them to figure out what they want to do, what their strengths are, where they're gifted at a much younger age, right? Not when they're 17, 18 and entering college and saying, okay, well, now I'm in college, maybe I should figure out what I want to do.
Right.
You're figuring it out much early because you're spending so much time with them. Especially when you're homeschooling with a business, they're learning a work ethic so early. I mean, my kids have so many job offers right now. If they ever wanted to leave the business, they wouldn't have any issues finding employment.
How is your business with regard? You're in Indiana, so you got to deal with the seasons. Do the winter months slow you down? How do the goats produce in the off months?
Yeah, so goats have a dry period of 2 months. And so that's January, like kind of half of December and January and half of February. So we really use that time to kind of recharge and take a rest and kind of take a step back and look at things and say, okay, well, what can we fix now, what not? It's with the soap, it's pretty easy because we can make enough soap to get us through that period until they start and start milking again. It's going to be much more of a challenge with the grade A dairy, with all the food products like gelato. We make gelato every day and sell out of it every day. So I'm not sure, it'll be hopefully in the winter, there will be quite as big a demand for it. But based on last winter, people still like their gelato year round. So that's a little bit more challenging, trying to figure out where to put the limited milk we have during those winter months.
Was that part of the learning process, that 2-month window there where your goats weren't producing? That sounds like something that would probably sneak up on you in that first year. Was that a learning experience?
Yeah, no, I mean, we had goats for a couple years before we started goat milk stuff. So I knew it was coming, and like I said, with soap, it really wasn't that big a deal with soap because we just made a ton in the fall and we're able to use it. The soap actually gets better as it ages. So it's not something that you even want to use fresh. So that was okay. It was really just when we switched to all the food products that were like, okay, how are we gonna make gelato all winter long?
Any new products on the horizon? Any new ideas that's come into your head that you'd like to develop out of goat milk, or is your product line established as it is today?
We are pretty much where I want to be. Now, there's a lot of tweaking to do. We make a lot of candies, we make a lot of caramels, fudges, all sorts of things like that. So there's always new flavors to explore, things like that. Same thing with cheeses. We've got all of our soft cheeses really developed. We're working right now on all our hard cheeses. Like we're making Swiss right now, but all of those things, good Swiss takes 9 months to age. So you don't even know how well you're doing at it for, 6 to 9 months. So that's probably ongoing, is just really refining our cheese making skills and the different kinds of cheeses that we're able to offer and figuring out what cheeses people want to purchase at a price that we can make them.
And I can also tell by the setup inside of your house, and I can also see on your website, you're also a podcaster. So you even find some time to podcast in addition to coming on programs. How often do you put out your show? Tell us a little about your show.
Yeah, so my show is on hold right now. It's called the Busy Mom Survival Guide, if you can if
Right.
you can believe that. And when we decided to become the Grade A Dairy, I had to put all my time into doing that. So I put it on hold, and I have got to get back to it. I have so many people asking me, when are you coming back? I'm like, okay, I'm working on it. It's going to be soon. So people can get to that just going to the busymompodcast.com, and that's a direct link to that show.
And we got listeners across the country. All your products available on goatmilkstuff.com. What about like the milk itself? Is that something, do you ship that, or is that something you got to buy locally?
Yeah, the milk, the yogurt, and the gelato right now all have to be purchased locally. We'll be working in the next year to 2 years on being able to ship the gelato, but the milk, it's, even if we were able to do it, it's just not economical. Nobody wants to pay $40 to ship a gallon of milk.
Right. No, I understand that and stuff. But right now, for people that are what part of Indiana are you in?
We're in southern Indiana, about half an hour north of Louisville.
Okay, so if listeners are listening to us around that area, you can look her up and try out some of the consumable goat milk products that they have available for sale. If not, take advantage of some of the laundry soap or the general hand soap for helps with your skin, eczema. See a variety of different things that it treats. Poison ivy. What are some of the other skin conditions it can help with?
Well, and if they want to try a free bar of soap, I do have that available for your listeners. They can just go to goatmilkstuff.com/thatbusinesssoap.
That business soap.
That business soap, all one word, and they can get a free bar of soap there to help, like you said, tea tree or acne, things like that, psoriasis, rosacea, and just dry skin. A lot of people just have dry skin.
No, perfect. Well, we'll put that up in the show notes, and we'll also put it up in the affiliate section for people to take advantage of the free bar of soap on behalf of PJ Jonas, owner of Goat Milk Stuff. So, PJ, thank you so much for being with me on the program today, and congratulations on all the success.
Thank you very much. It was great to be here.
And again, goatmilkstuff.com for more information, and we'll get goatmilkstuff.com/thatbusinesssoap up for the free offer for our listeners and our viewers. Again, new episodes each weekday morning, 9 a.m., thatbusinessnetwork.com. Find us on iTunes and subscribe and leave a review. It helps the show grow. You've been listening to That Business Show 2.0. I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show. Section for people to take advantage of the free bar of soap on behalf of PJ Jonas, owner of Goat Milk Stuff. So, PJ, thank you so much for being with me on the program today, and congratulations on all the success.
Thank you very much. It was great to be here.
And again, goatmilkstuff.com for more information, and we'll get goatmilkstuff.com/thatbusinesssoap up for the free offer for our listeners and our viewers. Again, new episodes each weekday morning, 9 a.m., thatbusinessnetwork.com. Find us on iTunes and subscribe and leave a review. It helps the show grow. You've been listening to That Business Show 2.0. I'm your host, Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.